So right now, Disney / Marvel Studios / KEvin Feige, they are all at Disney's D23 event in Brazil. And as expected, and what was told to us by some insiders, Marvel Studios wasn't going to really show us anything too brand new, but just talk about the upcoming projects that they have that we already really know about: Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, etc. We were told not to really expect any huge reveals, and we haven't seen any yet. However, during an interview with Omelette, a Brazilian outlet, KEvin Feige has dropped some major bombs about Phase 6. And as it turns out, it looks like some of the reports that we've heard in the past not too long ago are true. KEvin Feige talks about the Phase 6 slate, he talks about the future of Deadpool and Wolverine, and the future of the X-Men. So again, at D23, not anything huge revealed on any type of panel, but this interview with KEvin Feige actually did get some great stuff out of him. So let's go ahead and jump into what he told Omelette. Or since it's Brazilian, I guess it could be omelette. Someone will have to correct me if that's not how it's said. My apologies if it's wrong. Now, the first thing we'll talk about is Deadpool and Wolverine, because we've been hearing from multiple different sources, some big, some small, after Deadpool and Wolverine got out of theaters, that KEvin Feige wants more of them, and they're even thinking about doing a Deadpool and Wolverine 2. We've heard that Hugh Jackman is even sticking around to play Wolverine after Avengers Secret Wars, which is crazy. But if they want to continue to do Deadpool and Wolverine movies, I guess that's how it's going to have to be. Because when asked about the future of Deadpool and Wolverine, this is what KEvin Feige said: "The plans with Deadpool and Wolverine will always be the same. We're always wondering where can we fit them and how quickly." This seems to be kind of a confirmation that, yeah, we're going to see them show up in Doomsday, and if not, at least Avengers Secret Wars. But this does give a lot of credibility to the rumors that say they are sticking around after Avengers Secret Wars, and they are indeed planning on doing another Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So, fans of the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, we should all be pretty happy. We're going to get a second one eventually, it looks like, and we're definitely seeing Deadpool and Wolverine show up in either Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, or maybe just Secret Wars, but they are going to be returning. Then they asked about the X-Men, and this also kind of segues into what he would go on to talk about for Phase 6 and what they are going to focus on for Phase 6. But about the X-Men, he said, "When we were preparing for Avengers Endgame years ago, it was a matter of getting to the grand finale of our narrative, and then having to start all over after that. This time, heading into Secret Wars, we already know very well what the story is going to be up until then and after that. The X-Men are an important part of that future." Now, you can interpret what he said in a couple of different ways, and I actually interpret it in both ways, and let me explain. One way you could read this is, yeah, they have a lot of plans for the X-Men post Secret Wars. So after Secret Wars happens, the X-Men are going to be the primary focus of the next saga. And this part is entirely true. We've already known that, but KEvin Feige is giving us that big, clear confirmation right here. However, another way you could interpret this is that the X-Men are going to play a big role leading up to Secret Wars and then after Secret Wars as well. And this way is also correct. However, we already know that we're going to see a lot of the former X-Men from Fox returning, the original X-Men. I'm pretty sure about this, and I think a lot of people think the same way, but I'm pretty sure Deadpool's universe that he's in right now, the 10,005 universe, is going to eventually collide with our main 616 universe. And remember, the old X-Men from the Fox universe are in that universe, so that's when we'll get all of the old X-Men. I'm sure they'll introduce new ones as well, but the new team is really going to be saved for Phase 7 of the MCU and the next saga. But as far as the end of Phase 6 goes, KEvin Feige seemingly tells us that we have all of Phase 6. When speaking with the outlet at D23 Brazil, they were talking about whether or not KEvin Feige and Marvel Studios still has some productions to announce for the 2026 and 2027 movie calendar, which would be the rest of Phase 6 that we're waiting for. But KEvin Feige made it pretty clear what his focus was for the remainder of the Multiverse Saga. He said, and I quote, "When you set out to make 2 Avengers movies, they are colossal, gigantic, and consume you completely. But we have already announced a Spider-Man movie that will be released between Doomsday and Secret Wars. And the Omelette article stated that he was implying that this will be the extent of the MCU calendar for now. So this lines up with a few reports that we've gotten in the past, not too long ago. We've done videos about this, that Phase 6 is pretty much complete. In fact, it really does look like the rest of the MCU calendar for the Multiverse Saga is complete. So we went over these a couple of weeks ago, but we'll just quickly go over what the schedule for Phase 6 apparently is going to be. And this does seem like this is it. This is locked in. We have your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Captain America, Brave New World, Daredevil, Born Again, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, First Steps, Eyes of Wakanda, Ironheart, Marvel Zombies, Wonder Man. Then we have an untitled Marvel movie, which is scheduled for February 13th of 2026. We have Avengers Doomsday, May 1st, 2026. Spider-Man 4, scheduled for July 26th of 2026. We then have an untitled Marvel movie for November 6th of 2026. And then Avengers Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027. Now, this untitled Marvel movie that is scheduled for November 6th of 2026, this might not happen because Kevin Feige said they are focusing all of their attention on these two Avengers movies, and then Spider-Man comes out in between them. He didn't mention anything else, so they might simply just cancel this slot altogether. Now, Blade isn't on there either, but Kevin Feige did talk about Blade with the same outlet, and he basically said they are still fully committed to it. Mahershala Ali is still fully committed to it. They love his take on the character, so the movie is still happening. It just kind of depends on when they can get it done and if they can get it right. But this untitled Marvel movie for February 13th of 2026 that comes out before Avengers Doomsday, that's probably the only thing that's not revealed to us yet, and this is most likely a Doctor Strange 3 project. That is probably the only thing that Marvel Studios has not revealed to us yet. And Doctor Strange 3, we say that because it makes the most sense considering where we left off with Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness in the post-credit scene where Clea showed up and told him that he caused an incursion and they have to fix it. That storyline obviously goes right into the overall story of the Multiverse Saga, and that story will most likely build up to Doom, because if Doom is going to be the main threat, in which we know he is going to be, it's literally called Avengers Doomsday, then he might be causing some incursions to happen as well, or at least people might be thinking that he's causing incursions to happen, because that is what happens in the comics. He's actually trying to save the multiverse, but in the process, a lot of people think that he's going around destroying universes. And that's something I think we'll discover in Doctor Strange 3. I think we'll discover that, yes, Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange variants have caused incursions, but they're not the big threat that some other multiversal groups think they are. And in fact, the big overall threat is indeed Victor Von Doom. And that should lead us right into Avengers Doomsday, just a few months later after this untitled Marvel movie, which we believe is Doctor Strange 3, but we'll have to wait and see on that. However, in the meantime, this does appear to be, for the most part, and it could change, but the entire Multiverse Saga slate. I suppose they could come out with some Disney Plus shows somewhere, but it really does sound like, from what Kevin Feige said, they are just focusing on the Avengers movies and that Spider-Man movie in between, and that's all we got. So besides that, everything else, all the release dates, they've been taken up except for that one untitled movie. So it could change, but this looks to be it, and I, for one, am okay with them spending all of their time and efforts into focusing on the two Avengers movie and the Spider-Man movie in between. That way, they're absolutely epic. But go ahead and let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. What do you think about what Kevin Feige said about Deadpool and Wolverine, the X-Men, and the rest of Phase 6 for the Multiverse Saga? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things with the MCU and never miss any news. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.